place this past Saturday, and Alex Pereira came up big. He has saved the sport as we know it. Maybe that's a little dramatic. However, his violent knockout finish of Magomed Ankalaev was phenomenal. And there was so many great moments on this card. It's so sad to see how bad the promotion has been promoting said pay-per-views and stars like Pereira, like Yuri. And we're going to get into this video, and we're going to break down pretty much every fight of this card and talk about what happened and possibly what's next for these winners and losers. And I just got to say, let's just go right into it. Alex Pereira did exactly what he needed to do to win that fight. If he was going to beat Magomed Ankalaev, that is what he needed to do. And the reason I picked Magomed, I was rooting for Pereira, and I was so happy when he knocked him out. I picked Magomed, but I picked Magomed because in that last fight, I just was like, he had him on the back foot the whole time. What is going to change in this fight that is going to make Pereira come forward and look for the kill? And usually when you hear fighters say, "Oh, it was my worst night ever," blah 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 blah. Usually that's cope in extreme excusemisms. That's what that usually means. And in this case, it had to not be. It had to not be because Pereira looked like he was 10 times the fighter of Magomed when that fight began. From the first 10 seconds, as soon as Pereira went on the front foot, started cutting off the cage for Magomed, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, he's going to win. And he's going to win soon. And that's exactly what he did, and I was ecstatic. The way he cut off the cage immediately, went shin to shin with him, started attacking that lead leg, forced Ankalaev back into orthodox. And Magomed is a southpaw fighter most of the time, or all the time. That's where he's most comfortable and most effective. He set it up perfectly. He switched him into orthodox with those leg kicks, then started attacking with the rear leg kick. And as soon as Magomed took his guard down, as soon as he dropped a hand, Alex went straight for the kill. And as soon as that shot landed on Ankalaev went into a ball, turned into Anthony Smith, curled up, panic takedown. Alex easily stuffs it, and nasty 12 to 6 elbows on his skull and on his rib cage for Alex to reclaim the belt. It was absolutely beautiful. It was so awesome to see. And this is such good news for us fans, for the UFC, and for future big fights in the promotion. Because once you have a champ like Ankalaev, and he's not that boring, he's a very good fighter, but no promotability, no personality. Even Pereira, he don't speak English, but he still has a personality. He's one of the biggest fan favorites, if not the biggest fan favorite in the sport. And when you have a champ like Magomed, you're wasting a whole division because none of your title fights in top billers for that weight class, light heavyweight, if Magomed were to win, you take out so much of a chunk of money, I feel like, with a champion like Magomed. But when you have a champ like Pereira, you are ecstatic. It was so beautiful. I was so happy. All the trash talk, all the things said about this fight, Alex went out there and showed the entire world how good he is, how dangerous he is, and how feared he should be. And that last fight against Magomed was the worst night of his fighting career. And that's why he lost. And he came in, locked in, and just freaking annihilated Magomed Ankalaev. And it was a thing of beauty. I can't get over this win. We have to have Pereira versus Aspinall now. I'm going to make a video tomorrow talking about that, some other fights to make. But if that's not the fight you're making next, what are you doing, UFC? What are you going to do? Pereira, Olberg? Okay, not a bad fight, right? But then you have Aspinall. What are you going to do? Giving the winner of Almeida, Volkov? What if Volkov wins? Aspinall already ran through him. And J. Elton Almeida. if he wins, worthy challenger, solid fighter, right? Same kind of deal with Pereira. Oberg won. He's next in line since Pereira won. Worthy challenger. But is he going to beat Pereira? I would say Pereira would probably be favored. I would say minus 200 or more. Why not have them fight each other? Pereira wants to go up to heavyweight. You have 2 big cards coming up, UFC. I need to save this for tomorrow, I guess. But, man, what a performance by Pereira. I mean, so fast and so beautiful, man. Yeah! Yeah! Let's go, man. I was so excited to see that. I don't even know what else to say about this besides how awesome it was. I mean, Yuri crying. We're going to talk about Yuri here in a little bit. But, man, what a performance by Pereira. Chama is back. Aura is reclaimed. And the UFC looks a whole lot more exciting now. Let's go. Chama. But let's move on to the co-main event. Merab Dvalishvili, Corey Sandhagen. First off, very impressed with Corey Sandhagen's performance. Looked great in the first round. I mean, if he could have kept that up from what he did the first round, it would maybe not would have been the most exciting fight you've ever seen. But if he could have kept that pace in what he was doing this whole fight, man, he probably would have won. But, sorry, burp. But as soon as Merab wobbled Corey in that second round, turned into a whole different fight. And Merab was relentless after that with the takedowns. Shot after shot. Second most takedowns landed in UFC fight history. I think he's second to Khabib versus Abel Trujillo, if I'm correct. But Merab, even like on a night like this when Corey was at his best, Merab looked a little behind in that first round. He's found a way to win. And it's that X factor he has. It's the pace he puts on, the ability to never get tired, and to constantly pressure with takedowns and takedown attempts even. It wasn't maybe the most exhilarating fight. It wasn't a bad fight by no means. But, man, Corey looked really good, mixing it up on the feet, was scrambling well, popped right back up to his feet in that first round. But Merab, he wobbled him in that second round, and everything changed after that. Corey stung him a few times in the end of that last round for sure. I can't remember if it was round 3 or 4, but that was also a very close round. But, man, Merab was just able to dominate. Besides that first round, he was able to dominate throughout the fight with his shot attempts, controlling Corey, and landing tight shots on the inside. And, man, Merab is so good. But I'm starting to think he may be a little more beatable. That could be, but man, what if Corey and Umar, they're both really good and they fight him close with their styles, you know? Because who do you give Merab next, and who's he not going to do that against? So, I mean, Merab, go to the bantamweight division officially. There's no argument. The only person you could argue, I mean, Dominic Cruz and Aljo. Merab has more title defenses. Way better resume overall than both of those guys. So, there you go. Merab really became the GOAT of the bantamweight division Saturday night. And Corey, props to Corey. He fought really well. I think if he doesn't get rocked in that second round, we may be having a different conversation today breaking down this fight. Because, man, if he could have kept that first round going the rest of the fight, and he looked like he was that second round, and then Merab just threw a little caution to the wind and just started winging shots, and he clipped Corey, almost finished him, almost put him away. But Corey gritted through, but just wasn't able after that to handle the pressure and takedown attempts and takedowns that Merab landed. He wasn't able to handle it. He did pop up pretty fast compared to others, you know, but he after that second round, when he got wobbled, like I was saying in my predictions video, he has to throw a lot of volume. He stopped throwing a lot of volume. And in round 5, when he started finding Merab and popping his head back a little bit, he was throwing like 4 or 5 punch combinations, rip, you know, mixing it up well. And I think he could have kept that pace that whole fight. and he possibly could have won that fight, but he just didn't. Merab was able to get in on the hips too much the rest of the fight, and he goes out there and does exactly what Merab does, man. Go Merab. Go Merab. So, not a whole lot to talk about, honestly, in this fight, besides Corey performing better than what really anybody thought. And then Merab did Merab, So, let's go ahead and get into my favorite. I think Yuri is my favorite fighter of all time. No, second to Dustin Poirier still, but my goodness. Yuri Prochazka, the Czech samurai, gets it done against Khalil Rountree. Dude, that fight had me so nervous, man. After watching those first 2 rounds, I was like, God, I guess Khalil is just a bad matchup from Yuri. He can't handle the speed and the in and out of Khalil and his explosiveness off his shots and Muay Thai combinations. But I'm pretty sure Yuri realized in that 3rd round when he was down 2-0. Khalil was putting it on him, man. Making Yuri upset. He would tag him behind the ear and Yuri's, wide. But man, what a performance by Yuri. I'm still I've rewatched this fight I think 3 times at this point, or that last round at least. Gosh dang, my fat cat moving my laptop. But that sounded kind of horrible. My cat Doug. But did anybody else see the aura farming? Yuri hit the cross and started ripping those body shots, dude. Oh my goodness. I didn't know Yuri was Christian too, man. Golly. He's probably Catholic. I bet Czechs are Catholics, right? I don't know. But hey, Catholic samurai on top, I suppose, right? But man, the way he ripped those body shots, and if you watch that 2nd round, man, Yuri starts finding that jab and busting up Khalil's eye and was working the body a little bit better. You move into the 3rd round, and once Yuri hits him with a couple of teeps and shots to the bodies that really have Khalil wincing a little early, and as soon as he had Khalil backing up a little bit, man, he just went all out, throwing those crazy combos and ripping to the body, getting in tight and winging shots, and just absolutely walked through Khalil in that 3rd and final round, puts him to sleep. Drops him to the canvas in classic Yuri fashion after getting dominated the first 2 rounds. That was the worst Yuri we've ever seen, and he still flatlined a guy. He still flatlined Khalil Rountree, one of the best light heavyweights in the world. Yuri's the man, dude. Yuri's the man. If you're not a fan of Yuri, you must not like the sport. You're probably mad Magomed lost if you don't like Yuri Prochazka. You like to pretend boring fighters are amazing. Anyways, but man, such a good performance by Yuri. So gritty. So gritty, man. He went out there and got him in the 3rd round. Is a thing of beauty to watch. I was screaming, get him! And he got him, man. He just got him in. Yuri honestly looked really bad that fight, but he did what he Yuri'd him. He did Yuri. He was himself, and after the fight, it was necessary. It was necessary because he needed it. I guess he wanted to get beat up and then just get fired up in that 3rd round and walk him straight down and put his lights out straight to the canvas front. Dude, that's when you know you got mollywopped. Is when you face plant into the canvas and your body just. And that's what, man. I like Khalil too. He's a good fighter, exciting fighter, fun to watch, cool style. But Yuri Prochazka, oh my goodness, man. What is that book? I can't think of it. The Art of War or whatever. He was for sure reading that in the locker room before. Oh my goodness. Yuri's the man. I wish he would use his jab more. Because if he really popped that jab out there, the entire time during these fights, he could set up some wicked, unorthodox, weird combinations off that jab. Because if he starts popping that jab off in the 1st round against Khalil, he probably finishes him in the 2nd. Because that jab set up everything, worked the body great. I just think he struggled with his speed. I do think Yuri was hurt too. You see how he was moving. It's not how Yuri. He still was moving crazy, but usually his footwork's a lot better. But beautiful win by Yuri. Beautiful win. What am I? Oh, I forgot. Let's get my record. What am I? So 2-1 so far. 2-1. let's get to Yusuf Zalal and Josh Emmett. What'd I say? Not exactly what I said would happen, but Zalal embarrassed Josh Emmett. It was way too easy. His grappling, that takedown was beautiful. Straight to the armbar, transition, rolled into it, got that tight inside armbar, verbal tap, kind of anticlimactic because you couldn't really see what was going on and if he really had anything in there or had that armbar locked in there. But man, Josh Emmett, hang it up, dude. I don't see. There's no point in you still fighting, man. You had some cool knockouts. Hang it up, though. Yusuf Zalal, though, I think he's kind of the real deal. I'm not necessarily a fan of him, though. That post-fight interview was horrible and cringe, in my opinion. Good job, Las Vegas, for booing him because he deserved boos. That was really cringe. Fighting style's good, though. He's not a boring fighter, really, either. I know that last fight against Cater was pretty. He kind of ran around, but man, that was a great performance. His skills are there. He's very quick on the feet. He was tagging Josh for just a second. Nothing crazy damaging, but he landed some good shots. Josh looked lost as soon as Yusuf got on the bike a little bit. And beautiful takedown. Rolled right into the armbar. Beautiful finish by Yusuf Zalal. Ran through him like I predicted. And I'm interested to see what Zalal does against one of these top very well-rounded guys in the featherweight division. Very interested in that. Because Cater's old, not in his prime no more. That was his win before this one. Emmett. How was Emmett ever fighting for the interim belt, man? Because, he beat Cater, robbed Cater. Cater won that fight. Anyways, but yeah. Great performance by Zalal. I think he could be a real top fly guy at featherweight. He has the skills there. I'm interested to see what he looks like, though, in a bit of a scrap. Getting hit, by some tough guys like Diego Lopez, Jean Silva. Yair can crack a little bit. Even Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen can crack. So I'm interested to see what he looks like against guys like that. Let's move on, though, to the beautiful performance Joe Pyfer had. Man, Abus Magomedov has one of the worst gas tanks you've ever seen in your entire life. Am I right? Let me get a drink real quick. Diet Coke. Love Diet Coke. But yeah, Abus goes out there, first round. Joe Pyfer engages in the grappling to begin with. And then Abus turns it around. Gets a lot of control time. Minimal damage, though, but rides it out for that first round. Joe Pyfer doesn't get much done. But in that second round, man, Abus was gassed. And Joe Pyfer, like I was saying, his grappling's super underrated. I don't think he necessarily lost that first round on purpose, but I think he knew at some point he's finishing Abus, so I think he kind of just let it ride out. Came out in the second round and subbed him, which I was very surprised. I for sure thought Joe Pyfer would find the chin, but it was a good performance, man. I think Joe Pyfer could be the real deal, man. I really do. He has the skills, but what's going to be rough for him is pace and cardio, I think. But if he can figure it out, dude. Abus isn't a slouch. His cardio's horrible, but Abus is a good fighter. He really is. I'm not trying to be recency biased. I like Pyfer, too. I like how he's kind of just a freaking asshole. But I like him. And I think it's funny how he got a hair transplant, but still shaves his head bald for his fights. I don't know why he does that, but that's great. But it was a great performance by Joe. I thought it was cool. He got a sub against a guy who dominated the grappling in the first round. I think that's just good for his resume and future endeavors, really. So beautiful win by Pyfer. Man, I'm drawing a blank here of what I was going to talk about for this fight. And I can't think, and I don't want to sit here being weird, so I think we're going to move on. We're going to kind of go through these prelims pretty fast here. Lamb to the slaughter. David Gautier. This poor guy. Tristan Vines. He wouldn't even get in striking range. And as soon as he does, Ateba just freaking... It's like he got hit with a baseball bat. It was hilarious. He was, no. As soon as something connected, Vines was just... He was so freaking terrified. I don't blame him. Jeez. But yeah, gets him up in the fence, hits some nasty clinch strikes. throws him to the ground and finishes him there. What else do you want me to talk about? Please give Teba Gautier a better opponent. Please. But yeah, Gautier did what he needed to. I was hoping we see more of a flatline finish, but Vines was not getting flatlined. He did not want to get flatlined. Moving on, I picked Wiley. Oh, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I picked Daniel Santos to win this fight. And it was a pretty crafty pick, if you ask me. He did kind of what I said he would do, too. Jusang Yu looked pretty slick that first round. Still cut Daniel Santos, though. The dude can't make weight, so I forgot about that part. So I'm not going to give him as much praise as I wanted to. But I thought Jusang, I was talking about how I think Santos is a lot craftier on the ground, could mix it up there. And you would look good and slick in that first round, but use a decent amount of energy. And Santos was just going to keep coming forward. And I told y'all, he was going to find a finish. That's what he did. He just kept pressing you and found that nasty knockout. Good performance by Daniel Santos. Good prediction by me. Very crafty. But yeah, good performance. Jacob Woodclatch defeats Patchy Mix. How bad was Bellator? How bad is Bellator? Because I do think Mix won this fight. It was close, though. And they gave it to Whitclatch. And for how hyped up you hyped yourself up, Patchy Mix, and all you fake hardcore fans, oh, you don't watch Bellator or PFL? You must not love... Shut up. You don't know anything. I don't know why you think it's cool to watch the less fun fights, less skilled fights in these smaller promotions. I mean, I do from time to time. I mean, there's still fights and I like it. But, man, this Bellator guy, he'll beat Patchy Mix. Ha! Ha! He beats Marab. Subs him round one. Dude, he couldn't beat Jacob Woodclatch coming from Poland out of KSW. And Woodclatch looked good. Very sloppy on the feet, though. He's going to get caught at some point, man. But it's kind of a fun fight. I enjoyed watching it. But these Bellator PFL guys, pathetic. They're kind of pathetic with how they hype themselves up. And I understand why it's been this long before bringing a lot of them over, because it is kind of pathetic. I'm the best in the world. Now I'm in the UFC, and I'm here to prove it. And you lose to Jacob Whitclatch? I don't think you're beating Marab, just so you know, Patchy Mix. Unless Whitclatch is beating Marab. I don't know. But, Umar schools Mario Batista or what? Because Patchy Mix is horrible. He is not good. That's so funny. God, I don't even, hate Patchy Mix, but oh my gosh, dude. I can't stand the whole Bellator, PFL. He's Johnny Eblen. He's the best 185er on the planet. Remember when those talks were happening? You don't hear people talking about that anymore after some of these guys have come over to the UFC. So, there you go with that. That's my main takeaway from this fight, man. Moving on, I got this fight wrong. Edmund Shabazian can freaking crack. And I knew he could. But literally 10 seconds before Shabazian knocks Andre Muniz to the canvas, I'm talking to my freaking friend and I go, man, this fight is going to go exactly how I predicted it. Shabazian is going to win the first round, but Muniz is starting to come on a little stronger. And dude, Shabazian cracks Muniz and sends him to the canvas. Finishes him with 2 seconds left in the round. Good performance by Shabazian. He's a fun fighter. He really is. So if he can find himself in the top 15 in the middleweight division, good for him. I like his striking. I thought he'd get a little overzealous, and I honestly think he was there for a second, but he found Muniz's chin. So that's great. Good performance. So there's a fun round of the MMA fight. So yeah. Punele Soriano, Nikolai Vertanikov. I really thought Soriano was going to pick him apart on the feet, but he dominated on the ground. It was kind of boring. Stayed in the same position for a lot of that fight, but good for Soriano, showing a diverse array of skills. I also said, though, I thought Vertanikov off his back is horrible, and if Soriano puts him there, I don't think he'll get up, and that's about what happened in this whole entire fight, really. But good win for Soriano. I I don't know what to think about this guy just yet. I say we give him a decent, well-rounded guy next, and let's see where Soriano really stacks up, skill for skill, you know. But hey, got the prediction right. If y'all want me to be completely honest, I didn't watch much of this fight at all. So, but I seen bits and pieces, and Santos kind of did what I thought she would do to win the fight. Chasson swings like this, and Santos is a little crisper, landed some nice counter strikes, was able to evade the pressure those first 2 rounds. I think Chasson won that. I didn't even really watch this fight, but I got the prediction right, and it looked good. Yeah. But also, the bits and pieces I watched, this fight kind of disgusted me a little bit. It was so low level. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's a bad time for the women's bantamweight division. The other 2 are actually pretty decent, though. But the bantamweight's hard. This fight is, well, kind of exactly what I said. Fareed would get the grappling off. Gutierrez would not be able to damage on the feet to get the win. And Chris just doesn't really commit to anything on the feet. I honestly think he could be a lot better, but he fights so conservatively. That's what I said would happen. And Fareed would press in the grappling. And also, he outstruck him. He was able to freaking spaghetti strike him with him. And yeah, Bush Rope, bro, gets the decision win. I got to be honest, the early prelims I was not able to pay attention to very well. I was at a family event that ran long. Ramiz Brahmajah, I seen the finish. Good front choke win for Ramiz Brahmajah. I thought my prediction was pretty spot on after watching that first round. I thought Vanderford was getting it done, but Brahmajah, man, he's crafty on the ground. I thought this was a step up in competition for him too, especially Vanderford's a decently well-rounded guy, decent fighter. So good for Brahmajah. Give him a little step up in competition next. I think that's a 4-fight winning streak for him now. So let's see what he can do, right? Didn't even watch this fight. Not one bit did I watch this fight, but my prediction was correct. So yeah, but man, it was just a great night of fights. God, it was. Let's see what my record was. 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 9-4, 10-4. That's pretty good, man. Oh, I wish I would have picked Pereira. 10-4 though. I'm pretty good at these predictions. I'm pretty good. But yeah, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Seeing All MMA. I love doing this. I love making these videos. I love this sport. And I love you if you're watching. Shout out Yuri Prohashka and Alex Pereira, two of the freaking most exciting, awesome, sickest fighters in the UFC right now. Man, I had so much fun watching that. I've been thinking, it's a Monday, dude, and I've still been thinking about it all day. But yeah, guys, let me know. I'm making a Fights to Make Next video tomorrow. Let me know who y'all think the winners and losers of this big pay-per-view should be matched up with next. Maybe y'all will catch a little interesting matchup with some of the lower level guys that I didn't think about that could turn into something fun. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Jesus loves you.